Luke Taylor on the Testify podcast.
Fourth generation?
Yeah.
Fourth generation painter of his family.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
In year 11.
Yep.
You're 11.
Year
You'd
11.
be the youngest on the podcast.
Oh, really? You will be, yeah.
Take that role.
Accepted.
Yep.
Take that role.
Year 11, finishing year 11. Or are you finished?
Nah, Monday. So,
Last day?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. How's that feel?
yeah, it's good.
It's actually year 12, eh?
Yeah.
Like you've started a term of year 12.
Yeah.
So,
Makes no sense,
I know.
but that is what it is these
Yeah.
days. How are you feeling about year 12 next year?
Oh, yeah. We'll see how it comes, really.
Yeah.
See how it goes. Take it
You,
this time.
Varsity Lakes?
Yeah, varsity. High
school?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Great. And, so where do you start? You're brought up in the church and believe in God, or?
Yeah, and no, I'd say.
Okay.
So, I suppose my view on a Christian, right, probably the best way, would be probably that Jesus is your Lord,
Right.
And you look at him, everything of your life is like for that, I suppose. Yeah, I knew him. I knew who he was. I knew he was God. Jesus, God. He was Savior. I know what he did. But did I accept him as that? Probably not.
Right.
Were
You brought up in a Christian family?
Yeah, well, I'd say they're Christian, they knew God and stuff, but they still had a few worldly things, I suppose.
Right.
A few
So-
kinks tying out,
Yeah.
as we all do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been going to church since you can remember, or no?
No.
Ah,
So when I was young, really young, I used to go to church at Rabina High School,
Okay.
and then we just stopped going for quite a while.
Okay.
And didn't go for quite a few years. The church, then we went back again to that church. It was led by Stuart and Colleen.
Okay.
At Chapel now.
Yep.
how cool
so-
is that? Just quietly, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then we had another break. And then we went to Spirit Life Church that moved. They had a new pastor. And went there, and because it's an older people's church, a lot more older people, like 50s, 60s, stuff like that. So
I'm nearly 50.
I'm glad you
Careful.
said I'm still young, aren't I?
Yeah.
Am I still young, Luke?
Should have said 60.
Yeah.
Should have said 60, bro.
Good boy.
well, a mature church.
He's getting a bit of wisdom himself there.
Good boy.
How old were you when you guys started going to Spirit Life?
I'd probably been about 15, 14.
Cool.
around
So a
there.
couple of years ago, 3
Yeah.
years ago. Yep.
So I went there. I was still I didn't give my heart. I was just going just to do something with the family,
Yeah,
I
cool.
didn't connect.
Going with
I
mum and
suppose.
dad.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I did it for going out lunch afterwards. So just a bit of family time.
Nice.
That's how we've been brought up. Just lots of family, really close, stuff like that. So,
Was it a bit boring for you going on a Sunday? No disrespect to anyone, just
I didn't get much out of it,
yeah. Okay.
I suppose.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, we came to chapel. And the growth there is for me. And I can't sum it up in words. It's been a miracle. It's probably the best
Really?
way to say it.
So a little fire's been burnt. Started, I should say.
What was it for you coming that you noticed a difference just for you personally? Obviously there's a few young people there's a different mix of people, but what was it for you that sort of sparked something in you, Luke?
I suppose I got into like a mindset. I know it's a wrong mindset, it was, but like there's no authentic younger Christians like around my age. Like there's people that say, "Oh, I'm a Christian," and then you see them doing stuff and that's not Christian stuff.
It's the same as the
That's
world,
not different.
right?
There's no difference there. So coming here, it was an eye opener. Going, there is other people out there. And I just felt like on my heart that's how I want you to be.
Wow.
Oh wow.
That's cool.
So
You sort of felt God press on your heart. He's
Yeah.
like, this is what I want for you.
yeah, you know, Mitch and all that, he looked
yeah.
after me. You know, he was saying, "Oh, come along to so and so." You know, sending me text messages and stuff like that,
Come
which is
on.
really cool.
That's
So,
cool.
You know, and yeah, just kind of got back into the Bible, reading it again, and
Come on.
yeah,
And so, I know part of your story is you struggled at school. You were struggling
Yeah.
at school. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
yeah. Well, I never really fitted in, and then year one, I had a teacher that I would say didn't like me.
Right.
I was always in the spare room, like the naughty corner room, I suppose.
Spare room.
There was-
I think most of us experienced that at one point or another.
No, I didn't.
He had his own room permanently.
I had one
They
of
would
those.
visit me in my room. Wow.
So-
Okay.
You know, like she'd be yelling out my name, and I wasn't even in the classroom. So she had it in for me a bit. So that was year one. I didn't learn nothing there. I didn't in year one. I didn't understand it. I was dyslexic and dysgraphic. I didn't know that at that time.
What's this graphic?
Dysgraphia is
Dysgraphia?
where it's spelling. So dyslexia is reading, and dysgraphia is spelling. So
Dyslexic. So you
dyslexic, yeah.
Oh,
dyslexia.
dyslexic. Oh.
Sorry, don't
I
look at
kind of
me
go
either.
with the shorter name of it. Dyslexia. There you go.
Dyslexic. Dyslexic.
Dyslexia. Can you spell it for him?
I wouldn't be able to do that. You're asking the wrong guy.
And you're looking at the wrong guy as well. Taylor, help.
So dyslexic means reading. You can't read the words.
Yeah.
And then what's the other one?
Dysgraphia, which is
Dysgraphia.
spelling.
What do you mean? Like you can't spell a word?
Yeah. So I struggle with spelling. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
But all of that has drastically improved,
Yeah,
right?
it has.
Yeah, come on.
So what was the? So that's what you were labelled as.
Yeah. So
So did that?
it
What did
wasn't
that
at
do?
it wasn't at that time in year one. It was by year 5 I got diagnosed.
Oh, okay.
And after that is when I actually received a bit of help. But
Right.
the years before, because I didn't know, I was kind of just, I never learnt nothing really. So I would just like for exams or stuff like that, I wouldn't write down even English words or something. I would just write down just random stuff just to fill in the box or something. So I didn't understand.
And they probably thought you were just being naughty.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Just wasn't listening or
Yeah.
distracted or so.
But you actually,
Wow.
your learning was different.
Yeah.
You needed a different technique.
So
Bit of help.
year 5, you got diagnosed.
Yeah.
And so they provided more help.
Yeah. So
That's good.
it wasn't too much at Clover Hill because it was towards the end, year 5, year 6. I had a great teacher in year 5 and year 6. I had the same teacher. She really helped me. She did. And
Oh,
Awesome.
it's beautiful.
Miss Partridge. She was
There are some
lovely
teachers
woman.
that are actually amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah, she really helped me. And yeah, I received a bit of help on the side, I suppose, with reading and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of the lonely kid, I suppose, through primary school because of my learning difficulties. I was viewed as the guy who didn't know too much, I suppose.
Right.
The fat kid, I suppose I should say.
Fat kid.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was a bit chubby, back then.
Oh,
And I still am a bit. So, I was viewed as that, I suppose, and I never really found friends that were true friends, I suppose. Like, I know during an awards night in year 6, the graduation, my teacher for year 6, she wrote a lengthy letter saying that why I should receive an academic excellence award, which I did. So,
Wow.
it was a little trophy.
wow.
And the guy that, so-called friend said, "Oh, how'd you get that?"
Yeah.
So I caught that all through primary school, never had friends. Always tried to find friends and try to find Christian friends, but never really could. I tried to fit in with 2 Mormon kids, I mentioned that.
How'd that go?
Not very well. I was kind of always on the outer, with them. I couldn't really get in the group, I suppose. And I would bring the children's Bible in because I was lonely. I just used to sit under the stairs, I did, and just look at the pictures because I couldn't read it.
Was this at the start of high school?
Primary school.
End of primary school.
Wow.
Well, it was, mid section, like younger,
Sit under the stairs, just under the stairwell there,
Yeah,
and just read the Bible.
yeah. So I always knew Jesus. My parents always told me about him and stuff like that.
Good.
So, it was a Christian household to probably come to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anyone, when you were reading your children's Bible under the stairs, anyone come in and pick on you?
No, because I'd hide away really. So there would be a few miles away, and I'd be under here just
Wow.
on my own, just sitting there,
How-
just talking to God, just saying, "Lord, send me a friend. I want a friend. Anyone. I don't care who they are. Just send me someone."
Oh, Luke.
So,
How long were you doing that for?
about a year, but then I found, like that group I was telling you about. It wasn't really friends. They were just guys I hanged around with.
Right.
At least
So-
there was someone.
Yeah.
So then you're at high school. You go to high school the next year.
Yeah, so high school I really received help, I did.
Great.
I did a course, it was called corrective reading, and I did that for about 2 years, and you're meant to read a certain amount of words per minute. So, and if you mess up or so, you have to go back and reread it. So that was really helpful for me. I've improved my reading from there heaps.
So good.
So I substituted that in for history, geography, so I didn't do that, which is fantastic. Then I got involved in a few friends, had a few
Cool.
friends at high school, which was good.
They were good friends, okay?
I'm not friends with them now, to say, so
That answers the
sum
question.
that up. Yeah.
But they weren't bad, they were just good to have around, or?
Heavily involved in social media. So,
Right.
because I don't have any social media, I've seen what it's done to people, in my family, it's destroyed their lives, and still is now, with worrying about what people think, self-image and all that kind of stuff.
Man, can I just say...
I just didn't get it.
Yeah. Can I just say, because some people would even find that statement that you just said heavily involved in social media. Some young people might be like around your age and even a little bit older. He doesn't know. Like what a silly thing to say. But knowing you and spending some time with you, and I really like you. I really love spending time with you, Luke. What you actually said is really powerful, and you are so unique in that way of thinking, and it is a gift, man, that you can see that for what it is, because the reality is most people by the time they're your age, they are sucked into it to the point where they will probably never understand it how you understand it, which it is a trap, and there's very little good that comes from it. And I'd probably say no one your age uses it in a positive way. It's all negative and reinforces negative self-image and negative self-talk and all those sorts of things. So, man, I want to say you're amazing. And the way that you think
So
about that is really beautiful. And I think God's blessed you with that, man.
Yeah.
So thanks for sharing that, your thoughts on that, because it's really good.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
So your friends are into social media.
Yeah,
You sort of,
so heavily Xbox and stuff like that. So I used to join them on Xbox and stuff like that. But
nothing wrong with a bit of Xbox.
at school, they'd be on their phones just texting. You wouldn't even talk the whole time. There's about 10 of them just on their phones. So, I just kind of went, oh, this is rubbish, You can't. I
Not
want
with
to have a
friends.
conversation with someone, not just what some guy texts on his phone or playing games. So I kind of moved out of that group. That's kind of how that fell apart.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And because I didn't have social media, I missed out on going out. I suppose that's how they would arrange stuff.
Right.
But for that, I wasn't going to. Just still want to do it. They could have let me know, just
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
But, so that was that.
Wow.
What year was that?
Well, that was probably from 7 till 9. So,
Okay.
Right.
Up to about 2 years ago.
yeah.
Okay. Year 10?
Year 10, because I did that reading course, my education's gone slowly up and up and up.
So good.
I was a CD student, now getting A's and B's.
Wow.
No way.
Subjects.
Come on.
And I got into the high maths.
Come on.
Hi,
From a
mate.
kid who couldn't read properly in year 7
Yeah.
to getting A's and B's.
Yeah.
My
I was at
man.
a year 4 reading level.
In year 7.
Wow.
Jeez. Shout out to the teachers that spent
Yeah,
time with you.
come
How
on.
good is
I
that?
think that's great.
So good.
So high maths. What is high maths?
So,
I mean, we just had maths.
Yeah, back.
so now what they do is they've got like the different maths categories. So you got like your methods, they call it, which is the university kind of maths, I suppose, if you want to go down that way.
Is that the top of the food chain?
A lot more algebra, like the
Yep.
AX and stuff like that.
A plus B equals C.
Mm.
And then they've got the general, which is just what I'm doing now because I'm doing an apprenticeship, which is just get you through life. It's good.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine, you know.
Yeah.
Still a few things that you probably never have to use in it, but
Yeah.
that's just how it is.
Oh, algebra is so helpful.
Every day I use
Every
it.
day I think about A plus B equals C. And I go, this must be A plus B equals C.
Exactly.
It's so helpful.
The whole way. That's how I got here today.
Yeah.
Was doing that.
Yeah. So,
But there is a need for basic maths, the ones you're saying
Yeah.
now, where you got to calculate the amount of paint you're going to use,
Yeah.
how much square meterage is on a wall.
Yeah.
So there's that basic one.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing now. And then there's a lower one, which is
okay. Basic.
I haven't done that, so I can't really speak what it is. So
Oh, it's probably amongst the stuff that you're doing, and you're doing a little bit more because you're
Yeah.
above that.
yeah. So,
That's cool.
It's very
Yeah.
good.
That's well done.
So it's been a miracle that my education has improved
Yeah.
that much.
Come
you
on.
know?
So good, man.
Then you must be like growing in confidence and
Yeah.
like it does something for you when you don't feel like you're the bottom of the pack.
Yeah.
And you speak really well.
Yeah.
You actually do. You speak really well.
Tell us about your influencer who was influencing. You had to do a project at the school of someone who's a role model.
Yeah.
Remember you had an assignment to
Yeah.
do?
That was recently. That was this year. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, fill us in on
From the start, what
yeah,
happened?
what happened there?
Well, it's a bit future on from where.
Oh, so
I was.
year 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's catch up then. Let's catch up.
We'll go up, I suppose, to that.
Okay.
One.
Yeah,
Won't
yeah.
make sense.
Yeah.
So I left that group of friends. My marks have improved, so now I'm in another group. They're non-Christians, but they're the guys who different guys. So they don't fit in as much. They don't have any social media as well. So
Awesome.
just like me.
Awesome.
It's fantastic.
So good.
So yeah, I hang around with those guys, and then coming to chapel, I started reading the Word a lot more. Got involved in Living Waters, Ray Comfort. Love that guy.
Oh, yeah.
What he does, it's so cool. And music as well was a big thing that I had to change because I was into 80s heavy metal music. I was so with the long hair.
9 Inch
Like,
Nails and
teased
stuff like
hair
that.
and stuff like that. And I wanted to grow my hair like that. So
You like 9 Inch Nails and
no,
they were 80s, weren't they?
no, they're before that.
Oh, before that.
Yeah. So Kiss,
Oh, yeah.
all those kind of bands.
Name some bands
Yeah.
that you're listening to.
So Kiss,
Yep.
Skid Row,
yeah, Skid Row, Motley Crue.
Motley Crue, not AC/DC.
No, I wasn't big on AC/DC.
Yeah.
like
Not
them.
Def
Poison.
Leppard. Poison. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Def Leppard I used to listen to a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Bro, this all like my years. Come on now.
so
You said 80s, not 50s.
Wow, this guy.
yeah.
So listening to that sort of music,
Yeah.
and you sort of realised what? It's not really...
Well, there was sex, drugs, and rock and roll is what it is.
Yeah.
And that's how it kind of influenced me as well. Not the drug side of things or anything like that, but with how they got heaps of women and stuff like that, and a guy going through, discovering all this new stuff, that affects you as a young guy, you
Yeah.
know, and even movies you watch and stuff like that.
Did you feel yourself
Small
listening
part.
to that stuff starting to, oh man, I think I want a bit of this in my life, or starting to desire it a little bit, do you think?
I wouldn't say that, but I wanted to be like those guys because they were guys with the cool guys. I always viewed them as,
Yeah.
So I suppose that's about it, really. How it influenced me as much as it can, you know.
What made you want to stop listening to it?
Well, I watch these guys, Good Fight Ministries. They're a great YouTube channel. They do music from how, basically what they do is how Satan's influenced music. And they go back from a German violinist to modern day music now. And it goes from that guy to the blues to Elvis. They've got a really interesting
Beatles.
video on that. Beatles. All this up to
Motown.
today. So
R&B.
Eagles, all that. No, and even the album covers on who they've got on their album covers, you know.
Illuminati involvement.
Yeah,
all
so
that.
And watching that YouTube video made
Yeah.
you realise.
well, I just thought to myself, you know, I was looking at that. There was a few other small changes about symbols I used to watch as well, about demonic symbols like skulls and stuff like that, pentagrams. What does all this stuff mean, you know? And I thought to myself, I shouldn't really have this if I'm going to be a Christian, you know? He's meant to be Lord of my life, right?
So
What kind of a guy am I? I'm going to be a hypocrite if I'm listening to this kind of stuff.
Come on.
So I looked at all the lyrics through my music and I went, there's about 300 songs. Just delete all of it. Fresh start.
Just one day you're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Come on.
And Paul, the guy I work with,
yeah, Paul.
he was into, when he was younger, into Black Sabbath and stuff like that, Ozzy
I was going
Osbourne,
to say Black Sabbath.
Deep Purple, he used to like all that kind of stuff.
Ozzy Osbourne's pretty full on, eh? Have
I
you
used to listen to it.
David
Yeah.
Bowie. David Bowie.
Those guys did some crazy stuff. Pretty demonic.
Yeah.
Metallica.
Yeah, all those guys, yeah. So he got rid of all his music as well. He went one day and he chucked his CDs out. So
Before you, or he would?
yeah, this was when he was younger.
Younger.
And he got saved as well.
And so, did he talk to you about this when you're going through the
'cause
process?
I've always known about it, and I've known that now he's a worship leader in a church. So I think to myself, you know, that's pretty cool. And how God's replaced his music with
Come
certain
on.
things, and he loves that music now. You know, it's like that's his music now. He doesn't even listen like the old music he listened to.
Yeah, so good.
So I always knew there was a way, and that God would make a way. So I went, I'm just going to put it with you, God. Change it, you know. Here's all my music, 300 songs gone in my playlist. Complete fresh start. And I got involved in Striper,
Oh, yeah.
Petra,
Oh, I was
all those
gonna
kind of
say Petra,
bands.
yeah.
So I go through now the music before I download it on my playlist. I look at all the lyrics first. Yeah, is that okay?
Do you?
Yeah.
So good.
You might call me crazy in that way, but
Nah, man, you're awesome, bro.
I have a read through all the lyrics and I go, is that right? Yes or no? And if it is, I add it. So
Cool.
now I've got about 200 songs. So that's how
Come
God's
on.
replaced it with.
Come on, who's your favourite artist now?
Probably those Striper. They're probably up there. That's the kind of music I like. So
Nice.
I don't know who that is.
Heavy guitar.
another 80s band. All the
Yeah,
bands I
yeah.
listen to, they're all 80s as well.
Yeah, they're Christian band.
Christians.
Striper.
Yeah. They're still
A man-
producing music today.
A young
Yeah,
man
yeah.
before his time.
I'll show you some after.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
God, cool. So is that the sort of happened at the start of this year?
Yeah.
Good.
So I changed that. You know, got a lot more involved in reading the Word. A lot more like spending an hour a day or so, just reading a few chapters. Read all the Gospels, Romans, Corinthians, Proverbs. I read a bit of that. All these stuff. Did a few banquets. Valiant Man. Oh, that's
So good.
Great course. Really
Yeah.
great.
Well
know.
done.
So good. I really just see this year. It's no wonder some amazing things are starting to happen for you, and you're starting to really find your feet and find some joy. I don't know if you notice it, but all this stuff that you're doing, that you're just like, I
all
just
big.
decided to do this. You're like situating yourself, and you're like, no, God, like I'm just going to move some things around so you've got maximum space in my life. It's really powerful stuff, Luke. It's like.
Yeah,
And you
that's-
talk about it like it's kind of like, I'm just doing this, but it's huge.
Yeah.
People struggle with this stuff. And it's sort of just black and white for
I've
you,
kind
just
of-
like.
I don't know. It's like it's weird with like the music, right? I've with getting rid of that, you'd think that I'd be thinking, oh, I want to go back and listen to that, you know? But through the whole thing, I've just had peace through the whole thing of it.
It's all
Everything I've changed, God's given me peace on it, and He's given me comfort.
Yeah,
it's all bank, right? It's all deposit
yeah,
into your life.
changing his input.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all going in. And, you know, most of it's applicable, but some of it's not right now. But it's when you need it, it's deposited.
Yeah.
It's bank. It's there.
It's so
I can
good.
withdraw it when I need it.
Yeah.
So you're creating a good, healthy vault of wisdom there.
I wanted to put Him as my Lord, because I look at that scripture, you know, Romans 10, you know, if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord. Wait, no, sorry. If you believe in your heart that Jesus is Lord and confess with your mouth that God raised Him on the third day, you'll be saved.
Yeah.
So, you know, confess with your mouth that He's Lord. He's got to be your Lord then.
Yeah.
You can't just say it unhardly, you know. You got to mean it. So I suppose that's how I've viewed that, and I've tried to apply that to my life. There's still heaps of things I need to change, but, you know, trying to put Him as Lord. That's been my biggest
Very
thing.
good. So you change a few things. You change what you're doing. Had you changed churches yet?
No. So, right, yeah, I'm at chapel at this point.
You're already at chapel at this point? And so what else is happening? You're hanging out with Mitch a bit? You said Mitch is...
Yeah, Mitch. I met you with the young adults.
Things went downhill a little bit when you met me, didn't they?
No.
They went uphill for him. That's cool. Tell us about the role models.
So school, the assignment school.
Yeah, so English assignment came through.
This was this year?
Yeah, this year. So last assignment.
Okay.
And you got to choose a role model from a movie. And the two movies were Lion and Blindside. So you got to choose a role model from there, and then your own personal role model. So of course the role models they want you to go with is Elon Musk, Lady Gaga, all these guys.
Elton John.
Yeah, Elton John.
So did you watch both those movies as a class?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
So you watched them, and then what they want you to do an assignment. What's the assignment? So what's the...
So show how these guys are positive role models and what attributes they show.
Picking one out of the movie?
Picking one out of the movie and then picking your own role model.
And then the examples that they chucked up some examples on the board, right?
Yeah.
And on that board was what you said, like Elon Musk, Lady Gaga, Elton John.
Michael Jackson.
No, he wasn't up there.
Oh.
No. So
Bill Gates.
yeah, he was up there.
Oh, wow.
Of course he was.
Freddie Mercury.
Oh, wow.
All these guys, you know, listening, like with that thing I was listening to
Yeah.
with music and stuff, all those guys, their lifestyle,
Yeah.
it's destroyed them.
Yeah.
Why would they be role models, you know?
Ah, wow. And I guess you already being through that little journey of changing your music and then starting to actually look at the things that you're listening to has probably put you in a position unknowingly where you're looking at those people and you're not just seeing the money that they have or the fame that they have. You're like, hang on, what's behind it?
Yeah.
What's their lyrics? What's the lyrics of their life? That's actually amazing.
Yeah.
And then so you're like, none of those are suitable for me.
No. So all the lyrics they sing about is stuff they're going through, mainly.
Yeah.
A lot of it, you know, like it's crazy. I recommend that YouTube channel, Good Fight Ministries, if you're interested. They even go into Marvel and DC's War on God.
Yeah,
you know,
wow.
And certain superheroes like Superman, stuff like that. All these superheroes that we go, oh, they're really cool. All how it's been influenced by satanic origins.
Yeah, wow.
It's quite amazing.
So
you chose Lady Gaga.
No.
So who did you choose?
So I went, I'm not going to do that. I'm a Christian. I'm going to go Jesus. Who's a better role model than that?
So who'd you pick out of the movie?
I chose the mother of the guy in The Blind Side. You know who adopts him?
Which she's based on an actual
She's a
Christian.
Christian.
Yeah. So you picked her, and then your real life role model, you picked Jesus.
Jesus.
And now I can't imagine there would have been a problem with that.
Yep.
They would have gone, yay.
So what happened from there?
Because on the assignment, you got to have teacher's approval. So
Okay.
we're doing the planning. I'm going through, and I got all these scriptures. I got like a page full of scriptures. Is amazing. And she's going around. She's looking. Yeah, you can do that, guy. You can do that, guy.
This is you sitting in the classroom.
Yeah.
She's wandering around checking people.
Yeah,
nice.
And she comes to me and she goes, "Oh, that looks at it." And she doesn't say nothing. And she says, "You're doing Jesus?" And I says, "Yeah." And she says, "Why's that?" And I says, "Why not?" And she says, "You can't do him." And I says, "But why?" And she says, "Because you just can't do him." And I said, "But why? Why not? Why can't I do him?" And she says, "Because he's not relevant at the moment." And I says, "Really?" I says, "He's alive and he's coming back." And she didn't know what to say to that. She just says, "Look, just choose someone else from the board," and walked off. So
Maybe you're touching a little nerve there.
Man.
you know,
That's cool.
went through. Now this is the next term because it was at the end of the term. That I was planning for the next assignment. So new term. I got my mate saying, "Just do it anyway. Who cares?" And I went, "Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it." These guys are non-Christians as well.
And they're encouraging you to do Jesus.
Yeah.
Good.
Come on.
That's because you're rebelling against the teachers. So they're like, yeah, do it.
So next term comes, she goes around again going, "All right, I want to see everyone's final person they're choosing so I can approve of it." She goes around to me and she goes, "Oh, you're doing Jesus. I told you not to do him." And I says, "But why not?" And she says, "Because I told you can't do him." And I says, "But why?" And she says, "The head of English has told me that you're not allowed to do Jesus."
What? Lies.
Yeah, that was a lie.
And she says, "If you got a problem with that, you can go and take it up with the head of English."
She said that,
Yeah.
hoping that you
Hoping
would just
that I'll
stop.
just go away.
Yeah. not,
Fold.
not today.
So, you know, the stuff you guys are preaching, Dan and you saying, be bold and stuff like
Come
that.
on,
And I'm
man.
watching,
Was that around the same time?
Yeah.
Come
and I'm
on.
watching YouTubers saying the same thing. We need to be bold as Christians, you know. We need to stand up for what we believe in, you know. So I had all that influence and I went, you know what, I'll see the head of English then. I will then. And I says, "Where are they?" "I'll go and see them at lunch." And she says, "Oh, they're on the 4th floor." So I says, "All right, then I'll go and see them." And I think she was a bit shocked, like, "Man, this guy's a pain, you know, he won't go away." So she comes back to me. She says, "Look, I'll go and see them on your behalf and I'll email you at lunch when you can, if you can do them or not." So through lunch, I'm like, "Please, Lord, if you want me to do you, it will be approved.
Come on.
I'm not going to have to go and fight this. You will approve it. All things are possible through you.
Amen.
You know, if you really want me to do, I'll do it. I'm happy to do it." So that lunch, look at my emails. It's been all right. Your head of English has said you can do Jesus, but I recommend that you don't use just Bible references, but you include non-biblical references, like a quote from the Pope. So I can't just use Bible. I have to use some other dude.
Wow.
You know, like really the Pope at the moment. Crazy.
It is crazy. I can't believe she even went from there to say, "But I recommend you don't use Bible scriptures like the words of him whom I'm using."
Because I have to use a variety of sources.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why. So, writing it out. So I just used a few of the, I can't think of his name. The historian at that time.
Josephus.
Josephus.
Yeah.
So I just says that, you know, that he backs up Bible. That's all I've put. I don't know it very well, but I know that he backs up.
Yeah, well, he was a non-Christian
guy.
historian. Yeah. And even what she said, a variety of sources. What do you think the Bible is, mate?
Yeah.
It's not one book written by one person.
Yeah.
So even that, you should have just gone, "Yeah, I am, miss. Romans, John, 1 John, Corinthians."
That's good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, yeah. So I'm writing it out and I've made a PowerPoint and got Jesus there. I've got his attributes because you have attributes. What was the second one? There was a second paragraph. It was like...
Character.
character. It could have been No, what have they done for? What have they done for charity or the world or whatever?
Wow.
And then the third one was challenges and achievements.
Wow.
So good.
So for the first one, I've got who God is, holy. I've got all that stuff, I've got that all in the PowerPoint. Got pictures, everything. And then the second one and stuff like that. So it's a 4 to 6 minute speech, presenting in front of the class, which was fantastic. Go and plug my PowerPoint in, and works for the other two people that went before me. For me, flickers, glitches out, just cuts out on me. So, whatever, it's pretty obvious what's trying to stop me there.
You've actually got video of this, eh?
Yeah, I've got a video of it.
I've seen the video.
Yeah,
it actually looks a bit freaky, a bit spiritual.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, it just cuts out on me. So, and I've got scriptures up there, and at the end I just had Jesus is the way or something like that at the end.
Nice.
Had you progressed?
Sorry?
You carried on without the
I carried on.
working properly?
Yeah, so I just carried on with the speech, presented that. And, so...
What mark did you end up getting?
Got an A. So I got shared the gospel
awesome.
with 25 people in my class and my teacher. So
good, man.
That's good.
it's better than that.
So good.
I hope they could see how relevant he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got up and shared that story in front of a couple hundred people or a few hundred people
So inspiring.
a month or 2 months later. And it is really inspiring, man. It really is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But even quite lately, actually, I've been able to put Jesus in again with one of my Englishes.
It's like a little
Speech as well. So it seems to be speech time is like the Jesus time.
It's like a little Jesus ninja, just getting Jesus in wherever he can. So good.
So, just the recent one was a social issue. I had to choose one, so I choose cyberbullying. And then for the fixes, what's your recommendations to solve the problem? So I used a few, just shorten your social media stuff that will reduce cyberbullying. But then I just included another good recommendation would be if all would give their heart to Jesus, as he would break your strongholds, he would free you of your depression, you would find true joy like none other.
Wow.
So
Got
to include that in there.
How was it? Did you get a response from that? Did anyone say anything?
A bit after I did, and that's going to this has been filmed for the QCAA. This is afterwards. I got my mate who was doing the PowerPoint for me. He says, "Why'd you include Jesus in your speech?" He says, "That's probably going to affect your mark." And I goes, "Well, it's a recommendation. They're asking me what's my recommendations to solve the issue. That's my recommendation."
Fair enough.
And he didn't know what to say. And a few days later, Thursday, I'm sitting down, and this guy said, it was just mid-conversation, he goes, "Says the guy who believes that a man in the sky created the world." And he says, everyone was laughing at you when you mentioned Jesus in your speech. And I goes, "I don't care."
Oh, man.
I don't care. He's a solution to the problem. I don't care what people think. If they're laughing, good on them.
Right.
Good. Well, I'd rather have someone create Earth and evolve from a gorilla like your mate obviously is.
Yeah, that's what I said to him. I said, "You got to have better faith than me to say that nothing can create this."
Everything came from nothing. That's true.
Everything came from
Very
nothing.
true.
So I says, "How do you get a building without a builder and a painting without a painter?"
Good.
He just lost interest. It was all about just trying to humiliate me.
They lose interest because they got no rationale.
He's got no response.
Their faith has no rationale.
And also, if they're humiliating you, if they're teasing you or doing whatever, doesn't get a reaction and doesn't affect you, it can't go on for very long. They might go on to trying to physically hurt you. Fortunately enough, you're a big boy and you got some big friends. So
That's awesome.
it is awesome.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. I just think none of us are any better than anyone else. everyone's equal. But you, in the way that you simply look at things and believe things, is amazing. You are amazing.
Thank you.
Luke, you're awesome. And man, it's just cool to see what God's doing in your life and how all that stuff's not even affecting you, because the reality is a lot of people at your age, whatever those kids say and do, would hold weight on them and would rattle them and would probably send them home crying and worried about life, and they'd be on their social media hearing the trash that people are saying, and you're just like, man, I don't care what you say. You're not my Lord. You know, I'm on a mission. I'm doing this, and I don't see a lot of young people like you, and I just want to say you are exceptional.
Yeah.
You're a standout,
awesome.
man. Keep doing your thing.
Yeah.
Keep going hard.
So one good thing I heard by a pastor I listened to.
Must be me, I think.
He just laughs.
He was talking about who are you, your identity.
Yeah.
Right? And it basically was who you are, your identity is who you are in Christ.
Amen.
What does the Bible say about you?
Amen.
So if you know that, you know, what the Bible says about you, you've been adopted into sonship.
Come on.
Right? You're loved by him, all that stuff. Who cares what the world's got to say?
Yeah.
Come on.
You don't really care what he has to say. He's the
Amen.
one. That's what he says. He's written there. His words are living. So, you know.
It's good. Well, good stuff, Luke. I appreciate you coming on the Testify podcast and sharing your story and keeping the fire burning.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
And we're proud of you, bro.
Yeah,
we're
it's awesome.
we're proud of having a young man like you in the community who's doing his thing, standing up for what he believes. Real
That's good.
proud of you. Your parents would be proud of you as well. You're a champion.
Well done.
Thanks,
Thank
brother.
you.